Day 2 of learning to day trade. I have 5 trades that I made. They all hit. I did some live data trading on Market Open. It didn't go well. I'm technically down. I'll go over that at the end of the video though. But I just wanted to go over some of my back trades here. So I'm on NVIDIA. I picked a random day like I do. This time I marked out my first 15-minute candle of the day. So if we go to 15 minutes, this is one candle. I marked the high of it. I marked the low of it. And I'm trading off that here. So I see a breakthrough in the top of the candle. I'm predicting a bullish market. We get some breakthrough, some retesting. It's testing. Thought about buying in here. I was waiting for confirmation. This candle was red, so I waited. We broke through here. I like this candle signal a lot. This John Wick candle, I believe. And then we tested the line, and once we got a pretty good green sign, I made my trade. Set my stop loss under my candle here. My testing candle, I set it under my testing candle. Set it almost a 3-to-1 trade, and it absolutely banged, man. Very good trade. Very happy with this trade. Now, it hit up here. I made the trades, whatever, but I'm watching it. It went down, so I marked this as my new high. And then when it made a new high right here and went down, you know, obviously I have a lower high. I'm expecting a downtrend. And then, you know, obviously higher lows, etc. So I'm watching for a downtrend. I'm watching the movements here. I count this as consolidation, and then once it passes this line, I counted that I just had a new resistance zone. So 2 resistance zones, that'll come in later in a second. Then I had another breakthrough of my 15-minute candle high right here, this blue line. So I'm watching this now for potential bullish movements, maybe a reversal. It's testing the line, it's testing the line. I get a fair value gap right here, which is this pink box. I mark this as a fair value gap. I like this as a good sign here. I like this Dragonfly Doji candle. So now I'm watching for a breakthrough and retest of my fair value gap. So I get this gap, and now I'm watching. If it would have just tested green, I probably would have bought in. But we retested. Now we're testing my line. We're green. I was going to buy in at this candle, but I waited for confirmation. I got this candle halfway up. I bought in. I set this at almost a 3-to-1 again with my stop loss just under my reversal candle. And this trade banged. Very happy with this trade too. Yep. Consistently through this, I'm checking my 5-minute chart to see what the candle patterns are looking like, and that's what you see here with this pink box. I have yet another fair value gap. I'm proud of these trades, these 2 trades right here a lot, because I spent about 4 hours last night before bed and the day before bed researching fair value gap because I didn't understand it, but I made 2 trades off fair value gap that went for me, so I'm happy about this. But yeah, I went to my 5-minute. I have another fair value gap here, so I marked it, and then I went back to my 2-minute. Okay, and now we have a breakthrough of my fair value gap. It breaks the low. At this point right here, I'm thinking maybe we're going to shoot into a downtrend again. Market's going to repeat itself. I don't know. I get an upside down hammer. I'm thinking downtrend, but then I get this, and I'm like, interesting. I get this, so now then I have a breakthrough of my fair value gap, so I'm thinking maybe we're still in an uptrend. So I'm just watching the market. It tests. I almost bought in on this candle, but I wanted to wait for one more just because of this. If this would have tested inside, I'm probably buying it at this candle, but I waited. And yeah, we go down. You know, we retest the line. We're testing it. I'm just watching. I really like this hammer right here. Yeah, I bought in right here. So we had our breakthrough. I'm watching it retest. It tests. And then I took this, and I bought in right here. I bought in a little early here, but I really still like this formation right here of these 4 candles. I really like this breakthrough. It was very strong. I just had a lot of faith in this trade. I bought in. And I don't know why this is slid over so far. I bought in right here on this candle, I believe. The bottom of this wick when it turned green. Yep, bought in. Set my stop loss just below this breakthrough. And I put this at a 2-to-1. It banged. Obviously, I could have been a little more greedy, but what would this have been? Potentially, I could add a 3-to-1, but I'm happy with consistency. So, yep. And that was this. And then I went to back test another day. So these were the 3 trades on this chart. 2 fair value gap trades. Very happy with this. Very good. 3-0 on this chart. Now I went to futures. This is the first time I'm trading in Q. So this huge pink box you see is at the start. I went to my 4 hours to just look at the charts, kind of see what was going on. I noticed that earlier in the week we had hit this and bounced back, hit this and bounced back. I guess, it hit this and shot down. But then it hit this and I'm thinking maybe bullish, right? This isn't a guaranteed thing. I set this as resistance and I set this as potential support. I wasn't really taking it into insane account, but I did set it just because I want to look at that more. And then once again, I went into my 15 minutes, start of the day, and I marked the high of my 15-minute candle right here and the low, this little red candle. So the high and the low of it, and now I'm trading off that once again. Let me get this zoomed in here. Do my first trade. Okay, there we go. All right. So we have no breakthrough of our high of the candle. Our first breakthrough is of the low, so I'm predicting bearish, and I predict that right here. It breaks through. I'm predicting bearish. Right here we have this breakthrough and this retest. I really thought about buying in here, but I just wanted to watch the market for a little while, and I just wasn't confident. Which I'm glad now in hindsight, because obviously we retested again, but I just wanted to watch it and make sure I was in a downtrend. But yeah, I'm just kind of watching. I'm watching. Now I have this huge red candle. I really like this sign as bearish. It retests the line and then it tests, and right through this candle, this huge red candle, I'm taking confirmation. I took my short and set it at about, I guess I went pretty greedy with this at 5-1. It hit. I mean, I could have been even more greedy, right? But I went pretty greedy. Set a good short. Honestly, I expected it to shoot huge. I really expected this to downtrend a lot, but we didn't. So, and then what is this pink box for? Let's see. Did I mark a fair value gap on my 5-minute? What is this? Let's see. Oh yeah, I have a fair value gap right here in the green. Okay, so yeah, that's just another fair value gap I'm potentially trading off of. There's potential for another short here is what I was thinking. So I took 2 minutes, back to my 2 minutes, and I just watched the chart, man. I was just watching what was going on. Once we hit this, I marked it as a new low because we shot back up. I saw that these candles were here and thought maybe reversal. And then we had a nice hammer. I was like, okay, it's looking nice. Another up here, Dragonfly Doji, more ups. I was liking this. I was thinking maybe we're in an uptrend. Nothing I would trade off of, but in my mind, I'm thinking, potentially we are going to uptrend. And I see that slowly. I'm just watching. I'm watching. I mark in a 2-minute here, another fair value gap right here as this forms. I don't know. I do know. I have this. Looking back, right, I should be buying in long right here, okay? I have my breakthrough right here. It retests, it tests confirmation. 110% looking back now. This candle right here is confirmation, man. Look, I have my breakthrough of my low. It tests my line. It retests confirmation, right? I should be 100% predicting bullish. I was scared with this trade. I don't know why. In hindsight, I really don't know why. But I just kept watching, man. And then once we broke through the high of my 15-minute candle, I was really liking this. So I waited for a retest. It tests the line. I was about to buy in right here. But I was like, I want one more candle of confirmation. It went red, and I was just scared here. I don't really know why. Looking back, this trade could have been better. I should have been in down here, 100%. But I'm just watching. Here I thought about buying in. I waited for one more candle of confirmation. And then we had breakthrough at retest at test. I got this green sign. I felt comfortable. I predicted an uptrend here, made a 2-to-1 trade. In hindsight, let's just look at it. Going off what I said, my stop loss would have been just under my breakthrough here, and I would have set for a 2-to-1. I mean, and you see, I could have been. This could have been a beautiful trade, but I just wasn't confident. Look at that. Obviously, I'm never going to hit it like this, but look at what that trade could have been. That's just crazy. Could have been a beautiful trade. But still, I took a long when I felt comfortable. I waited for every condition to be met, but my conditions are met here. My fair value gap, I just need to trust fair value gap more. And for once, I waited for too much confirmation, which is weird. I normally don't. But yep, still. 2 trades, good. 4 longs that are profitable. 1 short, profitable. The short is arguably the best trade as far as ratio goes, but yeah, very happy with these trades, man. Very happy with these trades. But yeah, you see, I could have really caught some uptrend here if I would have had a little bit more confidence in my stop loss. But I think in real time, I'm catching a lot of this liquidity, man. I really do. I really do. Especially when I see it past this, what I assumed was a resistance level where I previously thought it would bounce back up. I think that in real time, I'm just moving my stop loss and it passes here and I'm setting my stop loss here and I'm letting it ride for a while, but neither here nor there. Still happy with the trades. Now I'll go over my live trades from about 9 a.m. I traded for about 40 minutes. I traded NVIDIA and Tesla. My first trade of the day was a profit, but overall I took way too many trades. I had 5 trades, 3 losses, 2 wins. What should have been my last trade of the day was my best trade to date. I predicted a really good trend reversal. I bought a long. I kept moving my stop loss. It was insane. It was like a 30-to-1 ratio. It was crazy. I predicted it beautifully. I just tried to keep up with too many stocks. And because I had also in Q1 open, I didn't trade it, but I had it open. So I was keeping up with that too. And I didn't see it in time and it hit my take profit. And I would have kept moving my take profit. I just didn't see it. So I predicted a beautiful short. It was a great trade. And if I would have stopped after that trade, which should have been my last trade, I would have been up on the day. But I took another trade at the bottom of that short, expecting it to reverse off just my gut feeling instead of waiting for a retest or anything. It just hit a low, and I was like, yeah, we're going up. And I took a long, and kept shorting. So that's a shame. And I never would have been in that situation if I would have just kept moving my take profit. I would have captured the whole liquidity sweep. I literally would have captured it all. It was crazy. It was a beautiful trade by me. But I took another trade after and ended down. So 3 losses, 2 wins. But my notes were pros. I'm recognizing market movement and seeing good trades. I had a beautiful short trade, which I just talked about. And then, yeah, other than that, it was just a lot of recognizing market movement and market maker structures and fair value gaps too. I did a really good job at the stuff I researched for the past 2 days. I was applying it and live data and trading with it. And I did good on my break and retest theory. I was using it properly in every trade. I just was too hasty. Cons, way too impatient. Rushing trades, selling too early, buying too soon. Wait for my clear indicators. I don't need to be making 5 trades. Just like the day before I made 5 trades, I want to be looking for 2 good trades. And tomorrow, that's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for 1 or maybe 2 good trades. Mark my words, the next video, I'm going to be like, I traded 2 trades, and whether they were good or bad, I'm not going to hastily trade after them. But way too impatient, rushing trades, selling too early, buying too soon. I need to take way less trades, which I just talked about, and focus on quality over quantity. For sure. That's a big thing. Quality over quantity. And I said I would also like to apply my break and retest theory more consistently and thoroughly. I think I just meant that I want to see my conditions more. On the trades that I lost, it's just because I went off just what I thought the market trend was instead of using candlestick patterns and a retest and a test, Overall consensus, just be more patient, 1 or 2 good trades, and clearly find and apply the theory. I also noted that I just want to look at futures more. I like the way futures were moving. I want to look at that more in the future in Q and ES. Overall, I put that I was happy with the day though. The short trade was so good. It was my best trade ever. I applied my break and retest theory really well on it. And it was on an uptrend, and I predicted the reversal. It was really good. I also noted that I only want to watch 1 or 2 stocks because I had 4 open. It's too much for me. I saw that this morning. I just want 2 stocks open. I'll watch 2 markets, and that's it. And whatever market shows me my signals more is the market I go into. If they both do, I'll go into both. But I just want to watch 2. So yep, that's the day. So overall, the live trading, I'm negative, but it's fine. We're gonna have that. I know that, but I am happy overall. And these backtesting trades, I did these earlier before I went to the gym. Very happy with these trades. 5 trades in a row, 5-0. I mean, you know. So stay tuned for day 3 tomorrow. I'm gonna apply what I've said today. I'm taking 1 or 2 good trades. I'm gonna be able to show it too. I'm gonna hit all my theories, my break and retest. You know, use my 15-minute candle, my high or my low. Use that to predict whether I'm bearish or bullish. Wait for fair value gaps to open. Wait for certain patterns, reversal trends. It's going to be a good day tomorrow. I'm going to take 2 trades. Win or lose, the trades that I take are going to be trades that I am confident with and would take a year from now. You know, so stay tuned for day 3. Appreciate you guys watching.